we're just gonna truck on through. Hopefully, I'm just double checking. All right, I'm gonna hit the intro in 3, 2, 1. Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey.
Welcome to a fresh cooked episode of Speak Freely. I am, as always, David B, or as I like to refer to myself, Mr. Freely, along with Kuno Stars, aka Mr. Speak. My dude, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right, man. Recovering from that cold I had last week. Now it's just stuffy nose and a cough. Is that like an obnoxious cough? It's one of those like clear your throat coughs. You know what I mean?
Okay. So it's
It's
not
like
like you're dying or anything.
no, it's just every once in a while, it's just like like an old man. But yeah, been surprisingly busy this week. It's funny how like I got sick and I'm like I need to rest, and then like a bunch of people were like, "We need you to write our theme for our podcast intros," and I'm just like, "But I'm dying, but I need the monies." Okay, so I've just been nonstop working on a bunch of podcast intros this week, like 5.
Nice.
I think I could speak about it. I'm gonna speak about it. They didn't say I couldn't, so
Yeah,
on
there's
them.
no NDA.
Yeah, there's no NDA. I'm good. I did one. I just won't say which podcast until you figure it out, or by who. How about that?
Hmm.
I did one. Oh, okay. I did one that was very like standard, like heavy rock and roll, very cool, just like that like almost like a Arctic Monkeys kind of feel, but faster and more aggressive. You know what I mean? Very classic like rock and roll vibe. So I did one. I did that. Then I did one that's like very orchestral and like kind of like classical, almost Beethoven-ish. You know what I mean? Like strings and horns and like very like very bombastic. I did that. And then I did one that was literally, I love this note because the best note I ever got. It was literally Indiana Jones theme, but mariachi.
But mariachi.
And I was like, challenge accepted, my dude.
Huh.
And
I need to hear
then
this one.
and then I could talk about this one because it debuted on Tuesday. I did an intro for a podcast called Book Nook, which is like a monthly book club on YouTube, and I did their intro for that. And that was like, make it sitcom-y. And I was like, oh, I could do sitcom. That's pretty standard.
It's
And
Friends, but mariachi.
yeah, Friends, but mariachi. Yeah, that was the best note I've ever gotten. It's straight to the point. It's like, basically, we want Indiana Jones. Okay, but mariachi. Oh, that was like the first one I worked on.
I bet. It's probably the most fun.
It was so much fun writing that, dude. It was so ridiculous. I wish I could play it, but it's no longer
All right, off the air.
off the air. Off the air, I'll
Yeah.
show you. But it's fun. It sounds so good, dude. But yeah, I've been doing that, getting back into the swing of teaching. I have a couple of students on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays now, and a couple of guitar ensemble classes on Saturday. So that's
Oh,
good.
nice.
A little bit of more work, but that's just like a tiny bit more. So
Now, when you say ensemble, how many kids is that? Like 15, 20?
it's like it's guitar ensembles. It's really like 2 or 3, max 3.
100? 200,
Yep,
300? Oh,
that's
wow.
exactly right. No, it's been like 2 or 3 kids at the most.
Okay.
So
That's manageable.
yeah, it's manageable. It's easy. I overpower them. I'm big and scary. So when I tell them, be like, "Hey, pay attention," they'll go, "Oh,
See, yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Benitez, sir.
sorry, Mister."
Oh, you're teaching kids from the 1940s?
Apparently,
Sorry, mister.
some of them, some legit, some of my students are like, "Hey, Mister, how do we?" I'm just like, "Mister, what are they teaching you at these schools, son?" Um, but yeah, how about you, man? How's your week going?
It's pretty good. It's kind of slow at work. But it's always pretty slow in January. People with their, their New Year's resolutions, trying to save money, trying to eat healthier. Right? They don't really go out as much, so it makes sense. But this week, actually, California finally reopened for outdoor dining. So we're expecting, people to just start showing up in waves this weekend.
Ooh, how do you feel about that?
Yeah. Um, I think we're ready. We've been bored. We've been kind of just like stretching things out, like cutting carrots really slow. So I think we're ready for it to really pick up.
Okay, because I remember when I went to go visit. I mean, that was a thing where you could
That was like five
outdoor
years
dining.
ago.
Yeah, in COVID years, it was literally
Right.
a decade ago. It does feel like it feels like not a long time passed, but at the same time, a lot of time passed. So,
Yeah.
oh, I will say this: I did get tested for COVID last Friday,
Oh, did you
and
pass?
yeah, flying colors, a double plus.
A double plus.
No, I failed that test. I don't have it. Damn it!
Ah,
I don't got
maybe
what it
next time.
takes. I don't got what it takes. My test came back negative. I failed.
But David, negative is a good thing.
What? But yeah,
Oh, that's
that's
good.
good. I'm glad it works. Hopefully gonna pick up for you this weekend because you guys make
Yeah.
bomb food. I don't know if you want let the audience know. It's in Pasadena. You'll figure it out. Which Pasadena? There's a bunch of Pasadenas. Exactly. Go find it. Internet. Good luck. Um. You want to talk about some news, or you just want to jump right into it, as the kids say? 'Cause a lot of things
uh,
happened this week. A lot of things happened today
I'm out of the loop then. You can
with the stock market.
oh,
Kind of, sort of.
I kind of barely read about this. I don't know much though.
So from what I've been kind of sort of reading up on it today, so the gist of I don't understand the stock market that much, but the gist of it is essentially there's a subreddit, a community. I think it's called Wall Street Bets or something like that, or Wall Street Gamble, something like that. I don't even remember the Reddit particularly, but basically a bunch of them got together and kind of manipulated the stock market to make some money, which is like essentially what they did is like they bought a lot of GameStop stock, making the prices go up, making it surge essentially so they could make a profit, which is honestly, it sounds kind of like what the fuck, but it's not really illegal. It's what the stock market kind of does. So the big controversy is that number one, it looks like they shut down the Reddit, or someone shut down the subreddit. And then number two, some of these
They-
apps that like let you buy stock, specifically Robinhood, basically did not allow you to buy stock in GameStop and AMC, which was like being manipulated by the free market. And that's like the big controversy because it's like, oh, so when like billionaires do this too, hedge funds do this too. It's like stonks or something like that, or shortening the stock. Where essentially the way I understood it, and I may be completely wrong, so go look it up on Google. But the way I understood it was essentially hedge funds, or let's say somebody wants to like shorten a stock. So what they would do is they would actually borrow a stock from somebody, not buy a stock from them, but borrow it. And let's say the stock is worth $10. So then they would sell that stock, right? And based on how many times you do that over and over again, or depending on where the market is, that stock would either go down or go up. So let's say the stock goes down $5. So you sold that stock for $10 and it goes down for 5. So then you buy it back for $5. So then technically you made a profit of $5. Does that make sense? Kind of, sort of? Because you borrowed the stock. You didn't buy it, you borrowed it from somebody,
Right.
and then you sold it, and then you bought it back for $5 for half off. So you made a profit of $5. And let's say you do that over for like, so then with those $5 you buy stock, and then you wait, and then hopefully the stock goes up because of the surge of people buying it. So then you can pay back or give back the stock that you originally borrowed and make a profit. It's kind of a gamble essentially because you don't know. Sometimes the stock can go up or go down. But if enough people do that, apparently, they shorten the stock, or they could also kind of. It's very complicated. I don't understand how it means, but essentially, regular folks were doing what hedge funds have been doing for many years, and billionaires got mad because a couple of hedge funds went to bankruptcy because of people buying up GameStop and AMC stock and kind of like surging the market. So the market said, "Oh fuck, cancel everything," and they pretty much just kind of like are not letting people now buy stock or I think even sell stock of GameStop and AMC. So everyone's like kind of like up in a hizzy about like Wall Street gets bailed out. Wall Street does this kind of tactics all the time. It's perfectly legal, but now that quote unquote common folk are doing it, now all of a sudden we gotta stop. Does that make sense? Kind of, sorta. It's very complicated, and I'll probably still read up on it. There was a great and I caught glimpses of it, but AOC did a Twitch stream, and I hope it's still up. I hope it's on demand. You can go watch it. But she invited like a couple of people on her stream to talk about it, and I caught glimpses of it here and there, so I kind of sort of understand it. But I'm probably gonna go back and listen to it again. But it makes sense of like why people are mad about it. So I recommend people go read up on it because I'm pretty sure I did a horrible job explaining it. But it's fucking the gist of it is uh just a regular community off the internet, regular people who just visit subreddit got together and I was like, let's do what the billionaires do, what the hedge funds do. And some of the hedge funds lost on their bets and started losing money. So they're like, you got to stop this. So like apps and stuff that are supposedly for the people are now not letting those people participate. Essentially, is the gist of it. Like Robinhood and like other types of like apps that let you buy stocks through them. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's the big controversy. And that technically them stopping you from buying a stock to try to like quote unquote control the market, that technically is illegal. But there
Right.
seems to be no one suffering repercussions. So that's the big what do you do about the whole thing? And I find it fascinating. And also a bit infuriating how it's like yeah, the rich get to do this all the fucking time, and now that like someone figured out the game, now the rich are like, yeah, but you can't play. You know what I
Right.
mean? So
Give me the ball back, kind of
yeah,
thing.
that's our ball. Get out of our court. No, it's a public park. Get out of our court. Right? Essentially, and it's like oh, essentially the free market isn't really free. Like so people are kind of pissed off. So and
Yeah,
I think it's perfectly
understandably.
reasonable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Okay.
it's all fascinating. I really I think this will be a historic financial economic event in our country's history. So we'll see what the events will unfold after this. And I'm still relatively confused on how it all works, but I'm very fascinated to like learn up on it because it's just like I don't know. I want to talk about it because I find it interesting. So
Yeah. The stock market has always been confusing to me.
yeah,
Even did you take any economics class at
hell,
Nogales?
hell no, skip that
Oh,
shit.
see, I
I was
did, and I
like,
still don't get it.
U.S. government. I rather learn that. And even then, I don't remember shit about those classes, except
Yeah.
that the teacher who taught it did not like me and said I would amount to nothing. So
Oh,
I told you about this. What's his face? I don't
yeah.
want. I'm not gonna dox him. I'm not gonna say his name.
Mm.
But essentially, the teacher that taught me U.S. government got really mad at me one time. He basically told me like, "You're not gonna go to college. You're not gonna amount to anything." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So
Now you got your
yay,
master's, so
yeah. And I'm a musician, so he was technically kind of right. So
damn it.
damn it.
But you did go to college, so he's not right.
So he was technically wrong, you know.
Yeah.
50. I compromise with him, like, you'll be half right. I will go to college, but I will amount to nothing. So,
Yet you will though.
or maybe I already did. And I'm just trying to like make him feel better about his life because he was wrong. You son of a bitch. But
Now, you've accomplished a lot, actually.
I have actually. I really
Yeah.
that's another thing I was doing this week was trying to take stock of my life and like it's really easy to get into the have nots, right? I feel like that's a very
Yeah.
human thing to be like, I haven't done this, I don't have that, I don't have this. But this week in particular, I think because I got sick, so I was just miserable physically for 3 days. I wanted to feel better about myself. So I was just like, well, what have I done? And I tried listing off my accomplishments. I was like, you know what? It may not be at the level I want it to be, but it's not nothing either. And I have to make sure like I realize that, which is like, it's hard. Why is it so hard to like appreciate the shit you haven't done?
Because you're not narcissistic. You are human, and I don't know. It is hard to be honest with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Really give yourself the credit you deserve.
It really is. It's so
Yeah.
weird how that works. Anything interesting happened to you this week, or anything you want to talk?
I don't, you keep asking me as if like there's something you know that I don't.
Have I asked you this already?
Yeah.
I'm so absent-minded. You know what, man?
No, I don't think so. It's been kind of a normal week.
Just work, come home,
No,
chill.
yeah. Oh, I did want to rant about something.
Go. Yes, this is why I
uh,
kept asking the question, Brian. Go for it.
and it's happened today, actually.
Oh boy. Oh, so
Oh,
it's a fresh, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news, fresh rant. Welcome to another edition of Scratch to Speak. Put in rant freely. The floor
yeah.
is yours.
So you go to Target, I imagine, right?
Yeah, occasionally.
Yeah. Who doesn't go to Target? Target's great. I've been using the Target app recently because it's convenient, right? They have a Target Circle. They give you a lot of deals. You can save like coupons and stuff, and then you connect. I connected my card or my bank account with the Target app, so it's really quick. Like I can scan it, get all the coupons, and pay all in one swoop. Today, what I did because I didn't want to leave the apartment, I decided to order through the app and have it delivered here.
Mm.
I'm never doing that again. I so I went through all the deals, got everything that I wanted, and it's like fresh groceries that like you can't have it like shipped to you, right? So it has to be like delivered the same day kind of thing. It's like some milk, some spinach, some eggs, some I don't know what else I got, some ribs, things like that. I ordered it at 11 a.m., hoping it would get here by 2 p.m. because that's estimated amount of time. Like, well, 3 hours. I guess that's reasonable. 3 o'clock comes by, you get a text message that says your order is delayed from between 4 to 5 p.m. I was like, oh, well, I'm not really doing anything. That's fine. I'm going to be here. Okay, 4 o'clock comes around, another message. It's delayed from between 5 and 6 p.m. And this goes on and on until I get it, it's supposed to be delivered between 7 and 8 p.m. And at 7 p.m., I get a message from, I guess, the person who's going to go shopping for me, essentially. And like half the things on my list aren't even available. Yeah, so she's like, "Hey, so that the rack of ribs you wanted, it's not here. Can I get you anything else?" I was like, "I don't know." That's what I
No,
asked. No, that's what I asked for.
give me ribs. Like, what are
He
you
could,
going to replace the ribs with? Chicken
I
thighs?
don't
Like
know.
ribs, baby. He asked for
Yeah,
ribs.
he was like, "Oh, like they didn't have the tortillas that you wanted. Can I get you the other ones?" I'm like, but the other ones aren't on sale. Like it's gonna cost me more money because it's not on, it's not offered. So like literally like half the things I had to get replacements for, and then tomorrow I'm gonna go return everything basically.
You couldn't just cancel the order? They were like, we have to replace it.
Yeah, basically. So that's another thing
Yes.
is, yeah,
Why? Like if it's one thing because it happens and I get it because I worked retail. It's one thing to if the inventory says you have like one of them or two of them in stock and you misplace the one or two, or even if like because sometimes customers do this shit too. They'll pick something up, be like, actually, I don't want it, and then just leave it in whatever department they're in, right?
Hmm.
So it's one thing to misplace something or have it be lost in the store, but when it's like half of the customer's order that you don't have, like, and then you realize it's like based off of like sales that you promoted, like just have the benefit being like, look, half of this stuff isn't in here. We can either replace it for the same price because you bought it based on the price, or fucking cancel the order. Like, I don't get that. Like that's like I know we're all hurting, but at the same time, like you have to have some form of customer service. Like, I'm not saying like give me the shit for free, like, but like if I'm buying for tortillas and it's like they're $1 tortillas, and then be like, hey, we don't have those $1 tortillas, but we have these tortillas for $5. Like, no, why the fuck do I want that? Like, I wanted the $1 tortillas. Like, either sell me that brand for $1 or just cancel my fucking order. Like, I'll go somewhere else. Like,
Yeah. So apparently, what happened is Target has a contract with a third party, and so it's
mm,
essentially like like Uber Eats. So
mm-hmm.
this person who works for this company called Ship It, she has this list, and she's just supposed to just pick it up, and then I guess she has like a credit card from her company that pays for it, and that gets charged to Target.
That's a dumb system. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that's just it doesn't make any
What?
sense.
It doesn't make it makes so they hired a third party to essentially come into the store and buy for you, but you did it all through their app. Am I understanding this correctly? Like
Right.
you didn't go to a third party app. You did it all through Target's
I
website
did
and
it through
Target's.
Target, and Target went to the third party.
That's just hire people. Like, do it all. Why wouldn't you do Target? You're a big corporation. Just do it all in house. Like, oh my god, that's
Yeah.
dumb. That's unfortunate. Like, I'm sorry.
So I mean, it's not the girl's fault. Like I don't blame
It's
her at
not
all.
it's not their fault at all. No, no, no.
No,
It's Target's fault.
it's
Target
Target.
Target's the one that
But
made
also, I
that
mean,
messed up.
things go on sale. It's understandable. Like it's gonna sell out because people are gonna want to pick it up.
Yeah.
But I placed my order at 11 a.m.
Yep. That's
There's no
also
reason why someone should be shopping for me at 8 p.m.
yeah, that's
You know what I
also
mean?
weird because it's like because that implies a lot of things. That implies either they don't have enough people working, which most likely might be the case,
Hmm.
or it also kind of implies too, which I'm hoping it's not, but it also implies too that that person was just like, I'll get to it when I get to it, and they just decided to do other shit. Whereas like if they did it in house, they had enough people that they personally hired, they could have been like, hey, here are the orders. Go try to do them in a timely manner between 1 to 2 hours. Like, and that's another thing too. Like it took them 9 hours, essentially 9 hours to get to your order, and
Yeah,
half of the stuff is gone by then. Like they should just be like, hey, cancel it. Like Target, you pay the poor lady for working for you. You take the repercussions of like it taking so long. Like that's kind of on Target in my opinion, and
I think so.
you shouldn't have to pay for that. That yeah, welcome to America, I guess.
Yeah. So
That's
I
so
have to go
weird because
return
like
stuff tomorrow because I didn't want it.
that's so weird that they wouldn't just let you cancel. Like I have to buy this stuff. Like, well, all right, just buy the stuff that is available then. Like,
Yeah,
no, but
but
you
we
got
get like half of it.
yeah, but you gotta buy for all of it because we already paid the no.
Yeah.
That's so dumb. Retails are so dumb. Oh, that's so weird. Uh, it's so weird because like I went to my Target the other day because Texas, we can shop in person, and I saw like people in red shirts like doing orders. Is this like a California thing? Like I saw actual Target employees with a Target like name tag, like carrying around this big shelf cart thingy, just being like, order one, order two, order three, order four, just like
Well,
randomly putting.
that's probably for pickup.
That's
Like
probably
people
for
think,
pickup.
yeah,
You're probably right. You're probably
yeah.
right.
Which
That
also,
reminds.
if I had done pickup and like half the things weren't there, also, then what the hell?
you would have been like, "What? Why the fuck did I come here?"
Yeah.
I feel that too. Then uh, that reminds me of this one time I ordered a book off Target, and I went to the Target near me, and they said they had it, and then they canceled my order for whatever reason. So I went to the store looking for the book, and they still said inventory two of the book, but they didn't have it. So I eventually ended up ordering it. No, eventually I ended up looking up somewhere else, and then going to another Target a little further away, but not that far away to not make the drive. And I found a bunch of the books there. So I mean, online inventories are not always like accurate either, or maybe they are, and it's just again people
Just
either
put them wherever
misplace
they
it,
want.
yeah, or even Target employees themselves might sometimes hide the item because they personally want it. It's not unheard of either. So
Hmm.
that's
Would
retail,
you do
baby.
that at Fry's?
Hell no, I never did that at Fry's.
I
I don't
need
know.
this HDMI cord. Let me save this.
Don't start me up again. I don't want to do Fry's part two.
Okay.
I don't buy shit from Fry's. Don't shop there. Go to Best Buy. Shop literally anywhere else. Hell, shop at Amazon. And Amazon's not perfect, but I'm pretty sure they treat their employees better than Fry's treated us. So I said it. Come at me, Fry's.
Do you know what was on my list that I also didn't get?
What,
Eggs.
bro? That must have been a real crack in your day.
Ah.
Were you scrambling around to find them somewhere else? Man, that Target really was a real Benedict to you, wasn't it? How many more puns can I do?
I don't know. Keep going. I'm waiting.
Man, today wasn't sunny side up for you, was it? Wait. Do I have one more? I'm trying to think of a way to use poach, but I'm done. I'm done. But
Yeah.
yes, let's get to today's topic.
Right. Because they didn't have it at Target. So Walmart poached my business. There
Hey!
you go.
There it is. There it is. Somehow, man, you and I get together and put all these ingredients together like an omelet of entertainment, you and me. That one was lame, but that's the last one I got.
It works. It works. It's all right.
It works. It works. But yes, today we are talking about eggs. And by we, I mostly mean Kuno over here because this is his brilliant idea because he is, to be fair, he is also a brilliant chef. Um, so yeah, I mean, this is where I just start sipping my whiskey and I let you take the reins. So, Brian, what is it about eggs that appeals to you so?
Appeal is a strong word. It's more like I hate eggs. Eggs are disgusting. You should never. No, I'm just kidding. I did not like eggs for the longest time. Um, that's because my parents would just overcook eggs like dramatically, like deep fried like brown eggs,
It's
and
very
I kind
that's like a very Hispanic Latino thing to like overcook their eggs.
yeah. I hated eggs. Like I would get like sandwiches like in middle school for lunch, right? Where it's like my dad would put like butter on one side, right? That's like just flat brown deep fried egg, and then like more butter on the other side, and just like there you go. And it was kind of just gross. It was like too much butter. The eggs were overcooked. The bread was kind of soggy because of all the butter. And for years and years and years, I would try to avoid eggs as much as possible. And then I had soft scrambled eggs for the first time. I realized like, wow, eggs are actually pretty amazing if you do them right. Eggs can be really really good. Yeah.
I think
Unfortunately, not many people know how to cook eggs the right way.
yeah, I was gonna say eggs are a very because eggs are very delicate. That's what I started to realize too. Like it doesn't take much to like start an egg to cook. You know what I mean? Like it
Hmm.
takes seconds upon minutes depending on how high you put that heat. And what I realized too, because like that's the thing that I figured out, like working at like a lot of doing a lot of church retreats, honestly, is when they make eggs in massive amount, it's always like very brown, heavily seasoned eggs. You know what I mean? Like just they just blast it with salt and pepper, or they'll put some kind of like salty sausage in it, and then they just overcook it because it's just like open this. They put it on this big griddle, and they put the griddle to high because they got to cook for like 100, 200 participants, and they overcook the eggs, and it's never good. I'm always like, I'd rather go eat at McDonald's. Honestly, it's not. It's probably
Mm,
not as healthy, but at least it's a bit tastier. So
yeah, I hear you. It's hard. I mean, to be fair, like it's hard to cook for 200 people. Like that's really difficult. Um, but it's not like it can't be done, right? Okay, so we are going to start with eggs. I want to ask you what you know about eggs first. Let's get a baseline. See where we're
well,
starting from.
I'm pretty sure the egg came first, and they come from certain birds.
hmm
Um, and
All right, so that's where we're starting from. The chicken came second, according to David.
yeah, in the theory of evolution, it makes sense, right? The egg had to be birthed, and from there came the chicken.
Right, but first it started as a dinosaur,
Yeah,
and then a dinosaur
and
with one feather, and then a
and
dinosaur
then
with two
dinosaur.
feathers,
Yeah,
and so on and
see, you
so on.
get it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so the egg came first. That's a very reasonable theory, I think. But it's only a theory. Again, I'm just kidding. All right, go.
Uh, let's see. How do I want to start this? Okay,
Are
so
you, are you asking me? Because I have no idea.
yeah, we've been planning this for like 6 months, and like I have no idea how to go about this.
It's been a real tease, and now that we're finally here, just keep in mind this was your decision. So
It was, yeah.
I wanted to keep the myth going, but dude,
Um, let's approach it from the general idea of what eggs are, right? Like, do you think eggs are healthy or unhealthy? Like,
health.
what's like general consensus of like,
I think they are a good source of protein and have what they call healthy fats. But everything in moderation. If too much egg could also be a bad thing, but in moderation, they're relatively healthy. I would
yeah,
say.
and that's more or less right. You know, it's eggs have I think inside the yolk it's like 2.7 grams of protein, right? And then within the egg white, it has like 3.9 grams of protein. And so essentially you're getting about 6 grams of protein in one egg.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the idea is like that's enough to get you through like most of the day, right? So having like, I don't know, like 2 eggs, that's 12 grams of protein every morning. Like that's a good enough breakfast to like get you through up until like a late lunch maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so a lot of people actually do, you know, like the keto diet is just like eggs and protein, right? It's always a good way to kind of like balance your diet out.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a myth that says, you know, too many eggs like builds up your cholesterol. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah, that was like a
Right.
'80s thing, was it, or early '90s? No, you can have too
I think
much
it's
eggs.
yeah. But I mean, yeah, and if you eat anything in like, in excess, it's going to be bad for you.
Yeah, obviously.
Um, but when I was looking up the research and stuff, yeah, eggs have they do generate some cholesterol, right? But it's just enough cholesterol to like kind of help you generate hormones like testosterone and estrogen and cortisol and stuff like that. But the rest of it, I actually have a list of like all the nutrients that you have within the eggs,
Mm-hmm.
and it makes sense because like you need to like essentially grow a little chicken in the egg. So why wouldn't it be like a whole source of nutrients, right? You get calories and protein, healthy fats, folate, calcium, zinc, phosphorus, selenium, vitamin A, vitamin B5, vitamin B12, B2, vitamin D, E, K, and vitamin B6. And it's also a good source of omega-3, which is, like you said, the fatty acid, the fatty acids. Yeah. So understanding eggs are not as bad as uh, they say. What kind of eggs do you usually buy when you go to the store?
Organic brown eggs.
Specifically organic brown, like usually all the time.
Yeah, pretty much all the time.
Yeah, why?
Because that's the brand that they buy in this house that I currently live in.
It's not really your choice.
Yeah, not really. Apparently, supposedly, right? They're healthier, but I've also heard like grass fed, free pasture or whatever, free roaming or whatever are healthier. But I really don't know. I'm just like an egg's an egg. I really don't care.
Oh,
But
well, it actually does make a difference. So
oh boy,
we're gonna go through a list of like all the eggs. Organic. Let's start with the worst kind of eggs actually, which is the caged eggs.
okay,
Right, and these are chickens that are essentially like they're stuck in cages. Right, it's like a 1 square foot cage. So you think of like 12 inches by 12 inches, and there's a chicken right inside. Maybe two chickens because they're not like too big. And then they're fed GMO, right, which is genetically modified organisms, and that's like such a like grains, right? They give them a bunch of grains, and that has like pesticides to kill all the bugs or whatever. But it's not natural for chickens to eat grain, right? Because they're supposed to eat grass and bugs and things like that. Uh, and then they have cage-free eggs, which come from chickens who are not in cages, but they're in fences, which is
mm,
also in a uh, 1 square foot like area. So like it's not that much different, right? Between a caged eggs and cage-free eggs, essentially come from the same chickens, also fed GMO, um, which again has pesticides, and supposedly the pesticide is harms the bugs, but it's not going to harm the chicken and it's not going to harm you, supposedly. And then you have free range eggs, right, which comes from these chickens that are essentially they're free range because they have like a door in the barn that they're allowed to like go in and out of if they want, but the farmers don't encourage them to go, and essentially they don't go because they want to be like huddled up together in their little herds, and so they're stuck in the barn anyway. And they're also fed GMO, so it's also not that great for you. And then organic eggs are essentially they're free range, right? So they're also kind of just trapped in a barn, all huddled up together, but they're not fed GMO, right? They're fed essentially like natural grains and like veggies and stuff. But also it's not natural for those chickens to be eating that either. And then you have the pasture raised, which is the ones that I usually get, and these are the ones that actually have like I don't know, like 100 square foot like fenced in area where they can run around, they can eat grass, eat the bugs and worms, things. It's a lot more natural, right? And if you were to crack all four eggs, right, one cage free, one free range, one organic, even one, and then one pasture raised, so all five eggs, um, you see a difference in the yolk, right? Like the caged eggs, like it's gonna be like really pale yellow. Like it doesn't look that appetizing, as opposed to like a pasture raised egg that comes like very vibrant and orange, and like it looks really cool because you're usually not used to it. So if you do care about like animal cruelty and all that stuff, the way like the vegans do, Um, I would suggest considering getting pasture raised eggs.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
I will consider asking the person who buys the groceries to buy pasteurized egg.
Yeah. And it you can tell a difference. I promise you. Like when you eat them, when you scramble them, when you use them in when you're baking with them, like it really does make a difference.
Let me ask you this: in terms of price, I would imagine pasteurized is a little pricier than straight up caged egg, right? Because they're not mass
Yes.
produced like a caged egg. Yeah.
Right. So hens naturally in the wild, the wild or whatever, they lay 12 to 13 eggs per year.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's like one egg per month, basically. So you get here like in La Puente where you have all the Mexican families that have their own chickens and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Essentially, if they wanted to collect eggs from those chickens, they'd get one a month per chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now those caged chickens or industry chickens, because they're fed all that GMO and stuff like that, they produce 100 to 300 eggs per year. That's like 10 times as much, 8 times as much eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy. Can you imagine?
Each chicken produces that.
Each chicken produces that.
That's unnatural.
That is unnatural. So
Yeah.
that's also why it's cheaper to buy those industry eggs, because like they just mass produce, like to come rapidly. Yeah, as opposed to the pasture raised, it's going to be a little bit pricier, usually around like $6 for a dozen, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I personally I feel like it's worth it. Yeah.
Okay.
Now you said you get brown eggs as opposed to white eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what the difference is?
No.
Do you think there is a difference?
Uh, I w- I would imagine so, right? The process of what makes one brown or what makes one white. Usually, this is what I always assume, right? If it's white, it's because it probably got bleached in some way. That's what I always assume. It's kind of like how they do like white bread or white flour or even like white rice. It's bleached in some way to give it that whiteness. Am I far off?
Uh, you're not far off in terms of like flour and stuff. Like, yeah, I never get bleached flour. If I buy flour, it's always unbleached. But for eggs, it's a different story. But you're not too far. A lot of people do think the same, right? They hear like, "Oh, brown rice is better than white rice. Oh, brown sugar is better than white sugar." So naturally, brown eggs would be better than white eggs. But essentially, they're the same thing, right? It's the only difference is what kind of chicken is laying these eggs.
Okay.
Yeah. So there are chickens with white earlobes and chickens with red earlobes. So usually, like the hen that's like it's white and red, kind of that natural image you get when you think of like a chicken like from a cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's the white earlobe chicken that lays the white eggs. And you have those brown chickens with the red earlobes, and they tend to be larger chickens, but they also tend to lay brown eggs. Yeah, and that's the only difference. They taste the
Uh, uh,
same,
all right.
nutrients are all the same. Yeah.
Okay. I'll still continue buying brown chickens then.
um. Yeah. Oh, I also wanted to ask you because I found this interesting when I was doing my research.
Okay.
Um, what country do you think consumes the most eggs?
Country?
Yeah.
I would assume China because it has the most people. Am I?
Uh, I mean, logically that makes sense.
But I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Multiple choice.
Multiple choice. Is it A, Africa, B, Japan, C, Mexico, or D, the United States of America?
I was originally thinking Japan. So I'm gonna go with my gut now and say Japan. Final answer.
You, sir, are incorrect.
Oh, it's Mexico.
It is Mexico, which which I found interesting. Like I didn't know Mexicans in Mexico ate eggs that often.
I'm pretty well. Maybe they don't always eat egg. But they're like tortillas, obviously, and bread, and tortas, and like pan dulce. Like that has a lot of egg in it, obviously. So I can see them how because there's always some kind of bread product with what they eat, either some kind of literal like a bolillo or like a tortilla. Now I would imagine that a lot of that egg goes in. But they also like, yeah, they do a lot of egg style, like huevos rancheros, chilaquiles with huevo, like frijoles con huevo. Like, yeah, I could see
Arroz
how
con huevo.
arroz con huevo. I could see how they're like, ooh, nopales con huevo, chorizo con huevo, jamón con huevo.
Mm.
Yeah, you know what?
Okay,
Yeah,
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 it's
they
starting to
do.
make sense.
Yeah, it's starting to make sense.
Yeah, so but you're not too far off. Japan is number two.
Ah, because they put a lot of egg on in their stuff too.
Yeah, but so here's the crazy thing is each person on average, right, in Mexico eats 438 eggs per year.
That's like 2 a day, essentially.
One and a half
1.5?
every day.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
It sounds like a lot to me.
It's an egg every day almost, essentially.
That's too many eggs. I'd get tired of eggs. And then in Japan, it's 320 eggs per year. In the United States, 280 eggs per year. And those are the top three.
Yeah. Well, eggs is a good source of protein, so I mean, it's like
Yeah.
you said, like you wake up and like there's a lot of rural areas in Mexico, a lot of farmers and stuff like that. So I can imagine they wake up
Uh,
packing that protein through eggs and tortilla and then go to work. That makes sense. I could see that. That actually makes sense now that I'm actually
mm.
thinking about it instead of just goofing off and guessing.
They wake up, get the shot of a raw egg, down it.
Yeah,
Do
they
a
Rocky
little bit of,
Balboa it.
yeah.
They wake up to the theme of Eye of the Tiger while making a a pure egg smoothie. It was
Yeah,
just
with a little bit of tapatio, just to
yeah,
give it a little extra kick.
little flavor in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dun dun da 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 da. Da. They shoot it. Oh, buenos días, mi amor. Voy a trabajar.
Yeah. The only thing left is talk about the ways you can cook an egg.
Oh boy, this is where the podcast lasts an hour.
Yeah, because it's 100 ways you can cook an egg. Supposedly, I don't know 100 ways to cook an egg. That sounds
You
ridiculous.
should have said 101. Like there's a clear
101
yeah,
eggs 101.
101. Yeah. 101 egg dishes. Number 1, arm bar. Number 2. That's a wrestling joke for all you wrestling fans out there.
What's your favorite way to eat an egg?
My go-to, if it's just if we're talking about a pure egg dish, like the egg is the main attraction, it's usually scrambled in some way. Usually. But hanging out with you especially, I've really grown an appreciation for poached
Mm.
because it's like a weird method, but the egg comes out very eggy, which might sound gross to some people, but I actually don't mind it, especially if it's like over like some kind of toast or something like that. You know what I mean? So I've grown an appreciation for poached, but my go-to is usually
That's
scrambled.
scrambled.
Yeah, because that the margin for error is a lot smaller compared to like a poached egg. I feel like.
Uh, I feel the opposite. I feel like it's like you can mess up a poached egg, but I feel like it's much easier to mess up scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's because I like a soft scramble right? Where it's like not that it's cooked, but it's still a little bit wet.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and if you go to most places, it's just like hard scrambled. It's like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just hard, like just gross. It's crumbling. It tastes like rubber. Like I can't do it.
Well, it also depends too, because like, and this is the problem too, right? Like a good scrambled egg, it it just slaps the most in my opinion. But yeah, but the problem with that is too is like it's also the easiest to fake, and you get like that powdered scrambled
Oh
egg,
yeah,
like mass production. You know what I mean? And when I eat that shit, I'm like, oh, this is that powder in a bag shit, and it tastes disgusting compared to like what you said, like an actual like legit scrambled egg. You're like, oh god, thank you.
yeah.
But yeah,
Oh,
but
especially if you get it like a nice like sandwich, like a really
yeah,
nice scramble. Oh yeah.
or in like a really well made breakfast burrito, not like a fast food
Mm,
breakfast burrito, like a legit like brunch area breakfast burrito. Like, oh my god, it slaps so good. But it's
yeah,
also, but yeah, but you're right. So it's also the easiest to like fake and make awful, make
yeah.
terribly. And then I think my second choice besides poached eggs would be a fried egg.
Fried egg,
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. It's
nice
like
like crispy edges, and but still
yeah,
like the yolk is still kind of runny.
yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that tastes like metal to me. I can't do it.
Really? I
Yeah,
I especially love it on a burger. A good fried egg.
on a burger it's not too bad because you can mask that metal taste that I get with like the actual like the beef patty and the tomatoes or whatever you're gonna add to it. But if you're gonna give me like just toast and a fried egg, like I would rather not get the egg.
No, if I'm just gonna get toast in an egg, it's either gonna be poached or sunny side up.
Mm,
I
you
like
gotta
a
get
good
that
runny.
yolk.
Yeah, I like a good runny yolk. Yeah,
Yeah,
but if I'm doing like there's other players in the team besides just egg, then it's like yeah, scrambled. Like yeah,
the ganchilaquiles.
yeah, or even like some kind of skillet. You know what I mean? Like some kind of like
Mm.
potato skillet with like other stuff in it and stuff like that. But man, now you're getting me thinking like, but I'm just saying all the eggs.
Yeah.
I just scrambled. It's what I grew up with. Screw it. Yeah, that's my number one, my go-to. But it's
Well,
also I also realize it's easy.
naturally, the real actual answer is depends what I'm eating it with, right?
Honestly, yeah, because if I'm making a if I'm making or if you're making me or if I'm eating a shakshuka and I get scrambled eggs in that shit, I'm gonna be mad.
you
Like, what the hell is this? This isn't. You said
said
shakshuka.
you said you like scrambled eggs. I'm just giving you what you like, David.
No, but I asked for shakshuka. So I would be pissed. So yeah, the
Yeah,
natural answer is literally what is it I'm eating it with, or what type of dish is it in?
yeah. Let's see, so you've mentioned all the eggs regularly, right? You poached, scramble, sunny
Yeah,
side, fried.
I like eggs, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
Eggs are just eggs, yeah.
I've always liked eggs.
Yeah. You know
Even
that
even
meme
like
that the meme with like Mr. Incredible? It was like math is math.
yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Math
Egg
is
is
math.
egg.
Egg is egg. You
Yeah.
can't change egg. No, Dad, but these are pasteurized eggs. When I grew up, egg was just an egg. You had caged organic eggs are eggs.
Yeah. Um, what other ways do you know how to do eggs? Because there's
Uh,
supposedly it's 100 ways, and like the list that I looked at, number one and number two was like raw eggs, and then raw eggs with Tabasco, and then raw eggs with whiskey. I was like, what kind of yeah, like kind of you're
it's
not even
just
cooking
it,
eggs.
it's just raw eggs with something.
Yeah,
How is that a different way to make it? Because you're not making it. It's a raw fucking egg.
right.
It's just crack open. There you go.
I,
What's the method where it's like God, what the fuck is it called? It's like a little egg disc and like they'll put cheese in it and maybe some kind of meat. but it's not cooked. It's like steamed over water or something like that, or maybe even like
So in Japan, they have something like that where they steam the egg, but it has like usually it has like fish cake in it. It's called chawanmushi.
yeah. Oh, oh God, how do I undo this to myself? My bad. Repeat that. Take two.
All right. Um, yeah, in Japan it's called chawanmushi, and it just comes in a little cup, like kind of like this, right? Little, it's a cup, and then inside they have usually it's like fish cake and maybe some shrimp or something. Uh, and it's steamed, yeah, like in the same way you would steam like shumai. And it comes almost pudding like, but it's very soft, more a little more liquid than like actual pudding. But if you do chawanmushi right, like it's really good.
Oh, I remember what it's called now because I looked it up on the internet.
All right, what is it called?
It's a French method called sous vide.
Oh, a sous vide egg.
Sous
Ooh.
vide. Yeah.
Uh, sous, sous vide is actually really cool. I don't have a sous vide machine, but if you can afford one, I would really recommend getting one. You can sous vide anything and like have it like waiting for you for hours later, and it'll be just like at the perfect temperature. You can do eggs, you can do steak, you can do chicken, you can do fish, shrimp, right? Because it's really easy to overcook shrimp. But with a sous vide, you can have it at the even temperature for like hours at a time.
I like sous vide eggs.
Sous vide eggs, all right.
Sous vide.
And
I mean, like, and I always get them at Starbucks.
I was gonna say you can get them at Starbucks. It's actually really good.
They're actually fantastic. Like they're the best mass produced ones I've tasted so far. Because I've tasted like other brands and stuff. Because I was like, I really want to eat these kind of eggs. Starbucks, man. Say what you will, but their sous vides are the best. Mass market. I've never had like fresh in a restaurant sous vide, but at the same time, I've never been to a restaurant that actually serves it. So, because I imagine
That's true.
it's a laborious process. I guess I don't know.
No, you put it in a bag, you put it in the water, you turn on the sous vide machine, and that's it.
Well, I don't know why they don't.
Yeah,
More restaurants don't make it.
I don't know.
There's also there's like a bread, a Korean bread they make. It's like a street food, and I saw this on YouTube once, where it's literally like some kind of like bread batter, and they put like a raw egg in the middle of it. Have you seen this? It's literally called egg bread.
I have not seen this, but it sounds amazing.
It looks. I just saw a video of like a guy mass producing it, like on his. It's like a street food. He literally makes it in like one of those food trucks in Korea, and I was like, I want to go to Korea just to eat that. That looks awesome.
It's
And it look,
so it's Koreans have done amazing things with their sandwiches, like the egg
mhm.
sandwich specifically. It's really there's a place here in Buena Park that next time you come to California, we should go because it's really good. But it's essentially it's two pieces of like brioche bread, and inside is like a soft scrambled egg. You can pick either ham or turkey or bacon, and then they also do like bulgogi, and that one's really good. Like bulgogi with a soft scrambled egg inside of a sandwich that's like crispy with the butter.
I love
Yeah,
bulgogi. I'm so down,
yeah.
bro. You just Google egg bread Korean street food, and it's just like they just it's just people making egg bread. I'm just like, I want it because this is the thing I also love about Asian cuisine in general. Besides the fact that it's amazingly delicious, it's also in the way they present things, where it looks appetizing from the get go. You know what I mean? Like the way sushi is made and it's presented, either it's like nigiri or if it's like sashimi, or the way they make the rolls, it's just presented in such a way. I'm just like, I already know I'm gonna love it just based on how colorful and elegant it looks. So, and
Yeah,
there's some foods they make that just look fucking adorable, and I'm like, I want to eat that because because it looks cute and I want to stuff it in my space.
It's
Like
so
little
cute. I
cookies.
want to eat it, kind of
Yeah, it's
thing.
so
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. So if you just
I've
look up like egg bread, it's just like literally it's like a batter, and then they put like a raw egg over it, and then like and it's like two sides of like a plate essentially of like a mold, and they just close the mold together and cook it, and it's oh my
yeah.
god, I want it, I
I
want it, I want to eat it.
I used to do this thing, kind of similar, but like not in that same way. Where I would just get just like white bread you can buy at the store, right? And I would like flatten it really flat, put it inside of um a cupcake like cooking sheet. So essentially, like that's your cup is like that the line of bread, and I would do like a line of bacon around and an egg right in the middle, which is kind of like the poor man's version of like what you're talking about. But these pictures look amazing.
Right? There's one video. It essentially looks like a waffle maker, like a waffle iron, but without the ridges. It's just flat, like the molding of like a loaf of bread. And they just put like their batter, raw egg, and then batter on the other side. And they would just close it, flip it, cook it, and then it just it's so simple. It just looks like a simple, nice, elegant bread, but there's egg in it. And there's elaborate ones where they'll put bacon and other stuff in it too, but it's still like an egg bread with something else. And it just looks like a tasty treat, and I want it.
We need to go right now.
Let's go.
Yeah. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about eggs is how versatile they are. Right, because we talked about how you can cook like an egg and then present it as just an egg, right? Whether it's scrambled over easy, over hard, sunny side up, um, fried eggs, whatever you want, right? But you can also use it in other ways when you're cooking other things, especially like you mentioned before, tortillas, bread, things like that. Um, and the reason why eggs are so versatile in that way is because they're considered like emulsifiers in a sense. So like when you're doing like a hollandaise sauce, right? Water and oil naturally don't want to mix, right? And that's just because of like the molecules, like they don't really mix very well. But eggs, what they have, especially in the egg yolk, is a thing called lecithin, and lecithin is a substance that kind of attracts both fats and water. And so essentially, the egg yolk is like that bridge between the water and the oil or the fats. Um, and you can find lecithin in both like the egg yolk and the egg white, but there's more in the yolk than the whites, right? Um, and the difference between the egg yolk and the egg white is that the egg whites have more water. So it's like 90% water, like 10% protein. And so when you're making uh, those sauces, you want to use the egg yolk. But when you're trying to make something like light and fluffy, you want to use those egg whites because it's 90% water. It tends to kind of hold air a little bit better.
Mm,
So you can use it for um, like meringue, right? You just make fluffy egg whites. Use a meringue. You can do what else? Like souffles. The souffles are very light, very fluffy. It's because of those egg whites, right?
okay.
And when you're making cheesecake, right, or even like the Japanese style like fluffy pancakes, you always want to like mix your egg whites separate from your egg yolks because you want to make sure it's nice and fluffy.
I've seen that. A lot of people like separate
Yeah.
their egg whites and then they'll whip the whites to make it like floofy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've seen that. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. That explains some stuff.
Yeah. So eggs, I hated them, but now I love them.
This has been an essay by Kuno stars. Eggs, colon. I hated them, but now I love them. Parentheses. And so will you. End parentheses. I'm actually glad you did this, man. That was very educational. And now I want eggs. And it's very late here, so I'm not gonna be able to get eggs anywhere anytime soon. So I
Unless you go
hate
downstairs to the fridge.
yeah, but what would I make? I guess just scrambled eggs. This has been Speak Freely presents Eggs by Brian Koniyoshi.
Yes.
Produced by David B.
All
uh
right. Do you have any other questions? Any questions in the audience? Anywhere? No.
do I have a question about eggs? I think you explained everything pretty well. The difference between like the different types, brown and white. What's the difference really? There is none. Um,
Ah, you learned something today.
what's your favorite way to eat eggs? You could have any plate of eggs right now. What would you get?
Depends what I'm eating it with.
So what plate would you get to eat it with?
No, it'd be the same as you. Like scrambled eggs. It was a nice soft scramble where it's like nice and like fluffy and light. Uh, it really you can't go wrong with that on just about any kind of like breakfast item, right? Um, Hash brown, sausage links, scrambled eggs. Done.
Yeah,
That's
that's an
yeah.
American breakfast, but done elegantly. Not like everything's burnt to a crisp. Like a
Not like
real,
Denny's.
yeah, not like Denny's or IHOP. Like a real legit, like good scrambled egg, legit, like organic sausage, freshly made, and like really nice tender potato hash
Yeah, from
browns.
Cracker Barrel.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. I've always wanted to try like the weird like bread egg mixtures. Like I know like the egg bread from Korea, but also like the
Mhm.
Japanese have like something similar. Where it's like a I don't know if it's bread, but it's like it's something mixed with the egg, but it looks like an egg, but it's not completely egg. You know what I'm saying? It's become a meme too, like a character that I've been seeing a lot too. Let me see if I can find it real quick before we leave, so I can like link it to you.
Yeah, I do not know what you're talking about. Although I will say the best breakfast I had in Japan was a side of like cabbage with a little bit of miso dressing,
Hmm.
a nice fluffy like white toast, and a soft boiled egg with some salt on the side.
Here it is. I figured it out. It's called tamago. Tamago.
Tamago is just egg.
No, no, yeah, no, actually, no, yeah. That's just, but it's like a weird method they made the egg, right?
Oh, like tamagoyaki?
Is that
Yeah.
what it is?
Essentially, it's an omelet that they fold over itself
That's
to make
one
it
way. There's also like, yeah, tamago kaki, but there's also like, here, let me just link it to you. Here's like, it's like a cartoon character that now people actually made into actual
oh the
dishes.
gudetama.
Yeah, is that what it's called? Yeah, but
Is
like
that also
all their dishes have like an egg in it, and it has like his little silly face in it. I'm like, I want to eat all of that. All of that looks delicious. I will happily eat that little dude. Yeah, that's it. I want to eat all that stuff.
yeah,
Like I
he
remember
is
the
everywhere. Like on
yeah,
they've made shoes in like
yeah. He's an
in his
icon.
design. They do like phone cases.
It's just sad that his
Everything.
life is a life of death and sacrifice
Yeah.
because he's constantly being eaten.
That's why he's always sad.
Yeah, he's like, oh no, my role in life is to be eaten. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I had ramen, I was like, "There's an egg in this," and I remember I thought it was an odd choice because it's like a very like
Soup.
pork. It's like pork broth. It's a soup. It has like some kind of pork belly in it, or maybe some kind of pork in it, and then an egg. And I'm like, egg. But now it's like if I get a ramen and I don't have egg, I'm like, excuse me.
Where's the egg?
Where's my soft boiled egg? You guys forgot my egg. Oh, you don't serve eggs? I don't want it. Tell the
you,
chef.
you know what's one of the most delicious but also really fucked up dishes in in Japan?
Mm,
It's called oyakodon. It's actually it's don is like bowl of rice, right? So it's
yeah.
this bowl of rice, and on top it's a chicken omelet, essentially, right? It's cooked with some the natural not natural the traditional Japanese like flavors with like the soy sauce, the hondashi, the some sake, things like that. but it's a chicken omelet. Which, when you think about it, that's
It's
like
the mom and the
that's a
baby.
baby. Yeah,
I remember that reminds me of like one of the first times because I know there's Chick-fil-A in California now, but one of the first times I had Chick-fil-A was here in Texas. And I was with my family or something like that, or my friends, and we were like, "Oh, Chick-fil-A has breakfast. Let's go to it." And they have a chicken egg breakfast sandwich where it's like chicken breast fried, egg, cheese. And I remember one of my friends was like, this is fucked up. I'm eating the mom and the baby. It's good though.
I've never been in Chick-fil-A.
Oh, dude, I like it. I
Everyone
mean,
always says like I need to go. I don't know. It doesn't.
like people have their reasons for not liking Chick-fil-A. All political reasons aside, it's the best chicken I've had fast food wise. You know what I mean?
Better than Popeyes.
Oh, definitely better than Popeyes in my opinion.
'Cause
Th-
Popeyes
This,
is pretty good.
this, this is how good Chick-fil-A is for me. Like sometimes I'll eat the chicken without the sauce, just straight up chicken tenders or chicken nuggets with fries, and I'm good. The chicken is that good to me.
No,
Whereas like with Popeyes, at least the Popeyes here where I live, it's always like a little stale. You need some kind of sauce with it because it's kind of like just deep fried. That's the thing too. It's like 80% breading and like maybe there's chicken in there. Maybe it's so thin every time I get it. Whereas like with Chick-fil-A, it's like, no, this is chicken. Like it's chicken. So
have you ever had Korean fried chicken?
no, I want to though.
Oh my god, it is so good. I don't know. It's they have like a specific method, like where they need to get the oil at a specific temperature, and then they make their batter with specific like temperatures in the water, things like that. But man, it comes out like really like it's soft and crispy at the same time without being oily at all.
Ooh,
It's so
you
good.
gotta go take me to eat there next time.
Yeah.
Ooh, which reminds me, if you ever come here, there's a restaurant here that one of my sisters took the family to recently, and it's like a Mediterranean slash Indian restaurant, kind of like they make curries, but they also have like euros and stuff like that. But they also make a fried chicken. Legitimately, like best fried chicken I've ever had in my whole entire life. Like legitimately to the point where it's like I crave it, but it's kind of far out and it's kind of pricey to be honest, but legit though, if I'm like in a mood and I got the cash, I'm like I'm going to go there again, not for the curry, not for the brianna rice or biryani rice. I'm going to go there specifically for that fried chicken. It is legitimately the best fried chicken I've had in Houston. And it was also on they were also visited by a rest in peace Anthony Bourdain, and
Oh,
they have like on their menu they'll be like Anthony Bourdain approved recipe or a plate. So I mean it's legit if that dude was there. So
I'm gonna start doing that when I open my restaurant. Just be like, David Benitez approved of this recipe, and
actually,
see.
yeah, do that. David B says delicious. Just have a picture of me like
For screenshot right now. There you go.
already appetizing face, right?
Yeah. No,
Uh,
when I get the vaccine, I definitely want to go out to visit you.
for sure. We'll see what happens first. You visit me
Or you
or
come
or
here.
I move. Yeah, we'll see. In the meantime, thank you so much for the wonderful discussion on eggs. Where can the people find you to get more interesting tidbits on eggs, or maybe not eggs, but just in general, foods, your art, etc.
Uh, food is art, so you can find them
Food
all.
and your food and your other forms of art. You're right. My apologies.
On Instagram at Kuno_stars. Where can the beautiful people find you?
I mean, by this point, if you can't find me, it's because you don't want to find me. So let them figure it out. The only thing I'll say, the only thing I'll say for this week, go check out my album Sunday Beats, streaming everywhere you stream music. David B Music, everywhere: Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Deezer, Tidal, wherever. Just search David B Music, Sunday Beats Volume 1. Check that shit out.
Do it.
Honestly, guys,
It is
honestly, guys,
it is
it's
perfect music for just getting through your day.
it's just lounge music, but like actually good lounge music, not like lazy lounge music. I put a lot of me in it. You can clearly hear you like I throw solos in there, just FYI, but they're not like shreddy solos. They're like solos that make sense.
They're very vibey solos.
Yeah, they're a vibe.
Yeah.
So go check that out. And honestly, like I'm everywhere. Like just
Yeah.
Google search. And you can find this podcast also on Twitter and Instagram at Speak Freely Pod. Obviously, if you're listening on this on YouTube, thank you so much. Hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, leave some comments down below. What are some eggs that you like? Did you learn something today too? Is there a type of eggs, maybe based on your family's history or maybe your own background, ethnicity, culture, that you like and that you make that we didn't talk about? Leave it in the comment section down below. We'd love to hear it. And also, if you got recipes, we'll make them. We gotta we gotta redo a certain episode about making recipes, so it might be about eggs. Who knows in the future? In the meantime, guys, that has been a freshly cracked episode of Speak Freely. Oh, oh.
Uh,
Can we do more puns before we leave?
um,
Do we
this
have
was,
any more?
this was excellent time. I don't.
Yeah. It was a
Mhm.
it was a it was a very it was a very cage
Educational.
it was egg educational. Yeah, very it's very freeing. Like we were out of a cage and we were free. Cage free discussion
Very
of
cage free episode.
yeah, very cage free episode. Very organic brown eggs. Stop. Put oh my god. I'm ashamed. Put the title, Brian. Put the title.